everything. We're going to be making pizza crust. This is everything you need for it. And we use it for breakfast pizza, pizza. We use it for a lot of stuff. We might add some Italian seasoning if we remember. We forget a lot of times. Actually, I'll probably grab that real quick. So that we need all this plus sugar, which is missing from here. And the Italian seasoning, just because I want to add it. If you're making a breakfast pizza, I'd skip the Italian seasoning. But that's it. And we're going to make a delicious pizza. Okay, so I added the Italian seasoning, so hopefully I don't forget to add that to the recipe. Okay, so we're proofing the yeast. We put half a cup of warm water. You don't want it to be hot and kill your yeast. 2 teaspoons of sugar. And we use that packet of yeast, which I think is 2.5. Yeah. And stir it up, and then you wait for it to foam. We're waiting. We have to wait 10 minutes for the yeast to proof, which if you see, it's kind of foaming at the top. That's good. And we did the vinegar, a teaspoon of vinegar. Okay, now we're going to do 3 tablespoons of olive oil. We are using the extra virgin because that's what we have. One and a half teaspoons of salt is going in now. Now we're using sea salt. I realize for baking it's not the best idea to use sea salt over iodized salt. But this is what we have. That's what we use. And it still works for us. Okay, so that's what your yeast should look like when it's proofed and ready to go in the bowl. Okay, the yeast is going in. Okay, in that same cup, we are adding 1 more cup of warm water. Okay, so now we're gonna add all-purpose flour, 3 3/4. It's on a medium-low speed. We're gonna add 3 3/4 to 4 cups of flour, and we're gonna add a teaspoon. Actually, let's do it right now. A teaspoon of the Italian seasoning. Okay, so here's going 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. This is our first time adding it because I always forget, but I always want to do it for pizza dough. We're making pizza, not breakfast pizza. If we were making breakfast pizza, we'd skip this. And then we're going to continue to add the flour, but first let's put this back down and let it stir on medium-low. Okay, we're just gonna take a break so we can lift it and add some more. That's 2. Drag it on the thing to make it even. Like that, yeah. That's how you make it perfect. That's 3. Well, we need at least 3/4. Oh, we'll just do the 3 for now.
Yeah, then I just had a 4th one.
add some more and scrape the sides. Is that 3/4?
Yeah.
So this is gonna be the 3/4. So that's 3 3/4 as of right now. And again, everybody's gonna be different. Like the time of day, the altitude, all that stuff makes a difference. So there are times where we use 4. I thought we've used more than 4 before, no?
Yeah, sometimes we've had to use more than 4.
I thought so. So there's been times where we've had to use more than 4. I think in the pizza recipe, I have a breakfast pizza recipe, which if I remember, I'll link below. It also has this recipe, this dough recipe, and I could have sworn in that one we used 4.
Yeah, usually we use 4 cups because it's going to need it. It usually does.
The only difference now, this is one thing that we don't normally do, is we're not putting it in the fridge overnight. We are going to rise it now and use it now. Well, not now, but tonight for dinner.
In an hour and a half.
Well, we're going to eat a little later because we had a late lunch today. But, hopefully. It's supposed to make 3 thin crusts. For us, it doesn't. Oh, okay. So, you don't want to put it on high.
That's a good thing.
We're just showing you what not to do. Normally, I'm in charge of the speed, but Speedy here got in before me. So, oh, and we use the dough hook. I don't know if you've seen it. We use the dough hook because that's what you want to use when you're mixing it. Shut it off a minute and use the thing again to scrape the bottom a little. Oh, so there's the dough hook. You can tell. Just kind of scrape the bottom because there's a nub in the bottom. So sometimes stuff gets caught around the nub. And I just want to get it all up. Use it all. And to tell if you need more flour or not, it'll be like sticky. If it's super sticky, like you see how it's sticking to the spatula, ours isn't done being mixed, so we're not quite gonna add it yet, but that would be an indication that you could use some more. It should just make a nice beautiful dough ball right in the middle. Look at that. Oh, that looks so good. With the Italian seasoning in it. I hope the kids love it. They're going to be making their own pizzas tonight. They love making their own pizza. And that was Victoria's request for her birthday was, her birthday dinner was to make her own pizza with French fries. Okay, we're going to put the dough hook back in. Lock the machine and then turn it on a medium low. See how it's sticking to the side? It shouldn't do that if it's got enough flour. So you gotta mix it for 7 minutes. I forgot to mention that. So we're just gonna let it mix. And then we'll come back in 7 minutes and see what it looks like. Okay, so it's sticking. We're going to add a little more, making it a total of 4 cups of flour. See how it made a beautiful bowl? Okay, so we washed out the bowl and now we're rubbing some olive oil on the sides so the dough doesn't stick. So, this is what it's looking like. It's got a rooster sitting on it. We just oiled the ball and the bowl and we're letting it sit right on the stove for an hour and a half. And then it's ready to be made into pizza. Okay, so it's time. Look at it. It's ready. We're gonna punch it down and then try to split it into four pizzas individual. Okay, so there is one of them. Come out bigger than we thought. It's gonna go in the oven. We're gonna par bake it. It's set at 350. And we're gonna put this on it before we par bake it, just to give it a little extra flavor. So on this one, I don't know if you can see, it's just along the outside. A little bit in the middle. And then it's gonna go in for 7 to 10 minutes. Okay, so this is a sausage that's going on, and you guys, game changer. It is so delicious on the pizzas. I promise you that. I love it. So here they are, par baked. We forgot to poke holes, so they kind of puffed a little. The kids are coming out to make pizza.
Like that, but it didn't tell them, it doesn't really